Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Live from Chicago. It is the Sports Doctor. I'm Dr. Bob Weil, sports podiatrist. I want to welcome Sarah Green. She's the owner of Psych Edge, licensed counselor for sport and performance psychology and mental skills training. You know how much on the Sports Doctor we've called the mental game. Sarah, welcome to the Sports Doctor.
Hey, Dr. Bob. Thanks so much for having me.
Sarah, give us some background on yourself and the development of Psych Edge. I know that you're from a physical therapy, massage therapy, health and wellness background, which is a great addition. Give us some background on you and Psych Edge.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been a licensed counselor for 15 years. I did start out in private practice and also ended up switching around a little bit with doing some EAP work, which is employee assistance, working with different companies and C-level executives and such. And really my passion all along has been working with student athletes. And so I decided I was going to do it, and that's basically how Psych Edge came about. I was an athlete. I was a student athlete, and really believe that my passion for sports and the mind-body energy connection was really needed. It just needs to be known. People need to know about these skills and understand them so that they can use them. I really wish I would have known these things when I was a student athlete. And so Psych Edge was born.
You know, it's interesting, the mental game, as I call it, whether you're the best athlete in the world, whether you're the mom and dad of a top athlete, whether you're their coach, whether you're the athlete themselves, whether you're someone who's trying to stick with their exercise routine, whether you're someone who's trying to lose weight, the mental game is a big deal. The late, great Jim Vickery, who was a colleague of mine, he shared the radio show with me in the 90s. He used to make such a big deal out of the fact that these were skills that could be taught and could be learned. And it's amazing to see there's not a serious sports team at almost any level that doesn't really pay big attention to the idea of what a big deal it is. Yet, like you're saying, you're still in the contest of getting it more and more assimilated, right?
Yeah, for sure. You know, COVID definitely being a double-edged sword, one of the positives I believe that's come out of it is it's catapulted mental health to our forefront. And we've also had Michael Phelps, and he's pushed the Olympic Committee. In 2019, they developed a mental health committee that was dedicated to the mental health of the Olympic athletes. And now it's starting to finally take fire. Every single college now has a sport and performance psychologist. They have athletic counselors. And people come at it from different perspectives. You know, sometimes it's more from the mental side, sometimes it's more from the physical side. Where I feel I'm very unique is that I have a master's in kinesiology and I specialized in sports psych. So, yeah, I have all that physical background and did internships and whatnot. But I also have a full master's degree in counseling psych and got licensed and did my internship and have been practicing for 15 years.
You know, so the pressures of sports at all levels, but the pressure of youth, the student-athlete sports, it's one of the big reasons I co-authored the book, #HeySportsParents, is the tremendous overuse of both mental and physical injuries with some of these kids with the pressures to play hurt. The amazing point you just made with people I've had on from wherever they are, around the world, whatever they do, whatever their profession, COVID has again exploded the world of mental health in every different type of aspect, and sports, of course, is not included. But the idea that there's such a positive side to the mental training and skills. One of my favorite guests, Rob Andrews, runs the Institute of Sports in Houston, Texas. He's got a wall of gold medals because he's worked with all the girls' gymnastics, Simone Biles and so many of these kids. And, talking about the tremendous challenges very, very early. When do you start paying attention to these kids in youth sports or student athletes in general, where you would be talking to parents? What ages?
Personally, I've been talking to my kids since they could walk. But, clients of mine, whether they're small groups or individuals, or if I'm, talking with parents, I mean, the kiddos could be in late elementary school, middle school. Typically, I don't start seeing them, till at least 8th grade or above, because many times they're not as serious, or there aren't necessarily, the complications aren't necessarily being highlighted. But sometimes they'll come for other reasons, because, like I said, I'm a counselor, so I still have a general practice as well. And so then we start looking at those issues and now start seeing how they are affecting their performance.
Right, the family dynamics. I mean, I have a room full of 10-year-old figure skaters, all doing double jumps, all skate 10 days a week, and all pay attention to mental skills. Something that we pay big attention to. My poster boy, we're still celebrating him. Last year was the 10th anniversary. Evan Lysacek, who grew up in Naperville, Illinois. He was 9.5 when I put orthotics in his skates. He became the gold medalist. It was an unbelievable, and I told him I got a whole group now of kids his age, where you're talking again about serious parents, serious coaches, serious kids. It's not for everybody, but the fact that you must work again with families as well as coaches, I would say good luck to you. Right?
Yeah, no, thank you. And you bring up a really valid point. I think that, there's been some misconceptions about sometimes the parents pushing kids and sometimes kids pushing themselves. And, I think that sometimes the kids are actually the ones pushing themselves, where a lot of the parents that I've actually encountered are the ones that are worried about their perfectionism.
I'm glad.
Concerned about them.
I'm very happy to hear that. Yes, because it's been something we've stressed for so long. One of the chapters in my book is called Youth Sports and Drugs, where we see, again, so many of these teenagers living on over-the-counter pain medicines because their body hurts and their feet hurts and their legs hurt, and they're trying to keep up with the schedules and the demands of their particular sport. And this is, again, let alone what we see in the world of what's gone on with doctors in sports or overzealous, crazy coaches in sports. That ranting, raving parent on the sidelines, how's that going?
Yeah. No, it's so true. It really just depends. And I know that it's been highlighted, thankfully, in the past 10 years especially. And I'm just hoping that now that mental health and mental training skills becoming more of a norm is going to really start highlighting those parents and coaches that are not being conducive to these student athletes, because most of us don't necessarily know, unless we've been a student athlete, the intense pressures that they are under and sometimes that they put themselves under.
What sports did you play?
I was primarily a swimmer. I also ran track, cross country, and I played softball. I did show choir and piano.
Really? You were a multi-letter athlete.
Yeah,
sure.
You got to be well-rounded, because if one thing goes, Dr. Bob, like if you're a pitcher your whole life and your shoulder goes, who are you? Who are you?
Or a swimmer.
Exactly.
Again, another chapter in my book is called The Prodigy Sports. And again, where you could tell the kids all day, like you maybe as a swimmer or some of your teammates, figure skaters, gymnasts, ballet dancers, tell them all day, we want you to play other sports. We want to play well-rounded sports. They don't want to do it. They want to do what they love to do. It's a special category. but it definitely is something that, gosh, I've been living with it all these decades with the world of figure skating. What's the website people could find out about Psych Edge?
Yeah, so it is psychedge.club. So it's PSYCHEDGE.club. And if you sign up on any of the pages at the bottom, I do a monthly blog on sport and performance tips. And I'm also going to be coming out with some classes, and you can be the first to find out about when those mental training classes are going to be released.
You know, it's interesting in the world of figure skating. I remember so much attention to visualization, and in gymnastics, the same thing. The idea of visualization, as going back to my late great associate Jim Vickery, talks so much about the positive side. I used to drag him along to the Little League parents' meetings. I would be talking about preventing injuries with my kids and coaches, and he would be talking about behavior on the sidelines and all of these different things. And he would tell parents, number one, don't be a critic. Don't be a critic. If you don't have something good to say, don't say it. I'm going to talk more about that. We're talking with Sarah Green. She's the owner of Psych Edge, licensed counselor, sports and performance psychology. We'll be right back with Sarah. It's a sports doctor. Hey, it's Dr. Bob. School Uniforms by Tommy Hilfiger is setting a new standard within the school uniform market. More schools are understanding the value that uniforms provide, school pride and identification being one of them. Another is the well-recognized reduction of student pressure to keep up with classmates in the real world of what to wear each day to school. School Uniforms by Tommy Hilfiger provides amazing quality and value to its partner schools and families. It is truly the first brand in this market that students are excited about wearing. Go to the website, globalschoolwear.com. globalschoolwear.com. Hey everybody, welcome back live from Chicago. It's the Sports Doctor. I'm Dr. Bob Wild, sports podiatrist. We are talking the mental game. We're talking with Sarah Green. She's the owner of Psych Edge. She's locally in my neck of the world here in Illinois. Licensed counselor, sport, performance, psychology. Sarah, the area of competition at younger and younger ages, serious competition, and all of those kinds of pressures with family, parents, coaches, the kids themselves. What are some of the important points that you stress when you're talking with some of these families on what they should be paying attention to as well as the kids?
Yeah, I think when it comes to the kids, it's finding enjoyment in what they're doing no matter what. You can be a really hard worker, but you got to still be loving what you do. And there's obviously times when it's harder and it's not as fun. And, you know, somewhere down deep, there still needs to be a passion for what they do. When it comes to parents, I just encourage them, kind of going on Dr. Carol Dweck's book, Mindset. She talks about focusing on hard work, not talking about their natural abilities, but really focusing on, wow, look at the strategy you used there, or I'm so proud of all the hard work you did. Look how far you've come, and things like that. So I think when things aren't going well, there can be so many pieces that add up that end up, I guess,
especially in this pressure cooker that we've all been living in with COVID-19, and again, thinking of kids and or parents. You're in school, you're out of school, the season's canceled, it's not canceled, total chaos. The challenge of communication between the young athlete and their coach, or the young athlete's parents, and their coach, something my friends at iSport 360 pay so much attention to, encouraging that kind of communication. How do you see those kinds of challenges, Sarah? Parents communicating with their young athletes, student athletes, coaches.
Yeah, I think sometimes the coaches and the parents don't necessarily know where like one end or one begins. Like there can be a lot of crossover, and I've seen coaches that do a great job with continuous like weekly emails, where they'll also have them on Zooming in when there was COVID and all those situations. So I've seen that they can really work together, and some parents choose to be involved and some don't. But I think that coaches have, from what I've seen anyhow, have really tried to get them involved on any level that they can, because we know how vital and important parents are to, their kids and their kids' perceptions and their approvals and things like that, and how deeply that can go. And
the challenge is also, Sarah, and we talk about it all the time, coming back from an injury, dealing with problems, the physical stresses. Again, the reason I co-wrote the book, #SportsParents, is the epidemic, everybody, with capital letters, of overuse injuries, both physically and mentally. Too much, too aggressive, pressure, these kinds of things. Your physical background, kinesiology, physical therapy, I would think is very important in dealing with that side of it, with some of these kids getting the kind of analysis and help they might need, or parents understanding the kind of time it takes to back off with trying to push through injuries and whatever. How's your sports psychology skills in that area?
Yeah, to be honest, that's probably one of my specializations. Since I worked in the physical therapy realm for a while, since that's what I was going to do. And like you said, I worked my way through grad school as a massage therapist and then a personal trainer. I've worked with physical therapists and neuropsychologists when it pertains to my clients. And when they're trying to recover, sometimes the individuals that they go to not only don't understand the competition and the drive and the passion for sports, but they also may not understand the physiological pieces that are going on. Yeah. And so I feel like my clients are at a benefit because I can understand those reports and I get that jargon.
Pay attention. You could pay attention that this 5-to-1 knee ACL and knee injuries, girls to boys, because of the biomechanics, because of the hip alignment, the importance of the foot mechanics, and again, stressing on that side of your world, another chapter, 2 essential exercises the sports doctor recommends. I don't care what your kid's sport is. I don't care what their age or their level is. Number 1, strengthen those feet and ankles. Get on those rubber bands, work those areas, and 2, work balance. Work balance and what we call instability training for that whole structure. And that's my sports doctor tip to you guys on the physical side of things, where we see, is this young girl or boy flat-footed? Do they have bow legs? Are their leg lengths equal? How's their flexibility? All of these things make such a big deal when you are responsible for 2 things. 1, can you prevent injuries? And 2, can you enhance a performance? And again, it's great to have that physical background because, treatment becomes a big deal. And so's the pressure to play, which is one of the reasons that we try to pay such attention, to that side of it. The mind-body connection, all these things that used to be kind of fun to talk about, mindfulness. You make a big deal out of that with your client athletes, don't you?
Absolutely. I've actually developed a process for my clients to be able to create their own mental game. And the base, as I'm sure you could imagine, starts with mindfulness and breathing techniques, and it builds from there. it ends with, as you described, the importance of visualization, because when we can't perform, if we're injured, or, for example, the pools were closed, swimmers couldn't get in the water, the number one thing that we know is that because of mirror neurons, we can use visualization, and the same pieces in our brain that are highlighted when we do a visualization of a particular activity, the same parts of your brain are highlighted if you are physically doing it. And so we know that mind-body energy connection, your intention, it's all connected, and now we have all the neuropsychology to prove how effective it actually is.
I remember that old test that was done with free throw shooters in basketball. One group actually practiced shooting free throws. The other group strictly did it mentally. The point was they were equally in their improvement and skills, which I think was something that surprised a lot of people. And this, again, continues to be, sometimes that the mental edge is such a big deal. And the type of discipline's a big word with your programs also, isn't it?
Yeah, the consistency. And I know that's hard, especially for kids.
It is.
But
it's almost as hard as running out of
it.
time. Sarah, give me the website. I can't believe we overgo. Give me the website again. People can find out about your programs.
It's psychedge.club, psychedge.club.
I want to thank you so much for joining us. We'll definitely have you back again, as we always talk about the mental game. Hold on, Sarah. I'll be right back, everybody.
Okay.
Sports Doctor. Hey, it's Dr. Bob. Right Fit Sports Fitness Wellness is a unique physical fitness experience whose breakthrough formula is built for all ages and abilities. Young or old, high-level athletes, have special needs, or seeking post-rehab and recovery therapy, Right Fit has a 15-year track record of measurable results. Right Fit has 2